Today we also started creating one of the smaller canaries that will be held by the ancestors, which will move around Wednesday when she is singing the song Pulled. These birds are able to have more flexible wings because the wings are lined with wire, meaning they are more malleable, and the ancestors that will be holding these birds will be able to perhaps flutter the wings and create a more lifelike appearance of the bird. To create this bird, we have used a similar method to the canary with the detachable head. We have used a yellow fleece as the outer lining for the bird, and we used 3 wire rings that are connected together inside, which act as a kind of shell which we were able to line the fleece onto. Then, once we did that, we filled the body with foam completely. After finishing the body, we then started work on the head. For the head, we have used a standard table tennis ball, and this has then been covered with the yellow fleece as well to create the appearance of a fluffy head that will look good when fitted onto the body. We will add onto this head perhaps some eyes and a larger beak to make it look more realistic when on stage. And we will also create more of these birds that the ancestors will be able to hold and move around on the stage whilst Wednesday is singing the song Pulled. So these are the completed birds which will fly around Wednesday while she's singing the song Pulled. These birds were completed by adding the final touches, which were the use of 2 stick-on eyes on each bird, the colouring in of the beaks, which with a orange felt tip pen, and most importantly yellow feathers which cover the whole of the bird's body and wings, which give it a more realistic appearance on stage. These props are made so effective by the use of a piece of white painted dowel, which is roughly about 30 centimetres in length. This white piece of dowel has a hook attached to the end, and leading from that hook is a length of fishing line which is roughly about 15 centimetres in length. That 15 centimetre piece of fishing wire is then attached to the birds, which suspend the birds in the air, and it means the ancestors are able to move the pieces of dowel around, creating the illusion that the birds are flying. I've seen the way that actors have been able to manipulate the birds in rehearsals when rehearsing the scene in Pulled, where Wednesday refers to the birds that fly around her. The use of the dowel has really been able to give the illusion that these birds are flying in midair, which has been very pleasing from my perspective because it shows me that my ideas of creating these birds have been able to work, and that the development of them has been successful overall. So ultimately I'm very proud of the job that myself and my partner did on these 2 birds, and it was a very enjoyable prop to design and create as well. So I'm glad that the final result is going to be most effective when brought to the stage. I'm particularly pleased with the results because I think they really served the purpose of what the brief was given for us. Also, the stick-on craft eyes give the birds a more cartoonish appearance, which I think looks rather quirky as well. I also like how the yellow feathers give more of a sense of realism when the birds are flying around, because when the birds are suspended in the air and they are being wafted around, the wings tend to glide in the air as well, which give the simulation of the bird flapping its wings. So that's something that I am particularly pleased of with these finished results. I'm also quite pleased with the type of glue that we used to attach the bird's head to the body. We used a hot glue gun to attach the two parts of the body together, which will create a strong bond and prevent any accidents occurring on stage where the head becomes detached from the body unintentionally. Ultimately, I am pleased with the good quality materials that we were able to get hold of to complete this project and ultimately achieve a very satisfying result that will look very effective on the stage when we start the show run on next Wednesday. So I'll be looking forward to seeing these birds on stage and seeing how they will appear.